of the victims of the fire. And tonight, students and faculty at the University of South Carolina are remembering their students who were lost.
And our Hatzel Vela is live outside in Columbia, where a candlelight vigil wrapped up a few hours ago. Hatzel, clearly a devastating situation that the community is going to have to deal with now.
Indeed, Raphael, this community is heartbroken. Evidence of this right behind me. You can see the growing memorial that pay respects to the 7 students lost outside of the student union here at USC. I spoke to one of the students who didn't really know any of the victims, but like hundreds of other students, she felt compelled to come and pay her respects. Outside the Russell House, the silence so intense, you could hear people's footsteps. Most of them carrying candles, some had flowers. Standing in the crowd, all you had to do was listen to hear the cries. Plenty of tears and hugs amongst those who knew each other and those who didn't, but were there for support.
Through the irony and frustration of technology and the intersection of legal entanglements, we are unable this evening to name their names.
But that didn't matter. 7 wreaths symbolic of the lives lost.
And so I invite you in your mind, without uttering a sound, to name their names this evening in remembrance and in love.
The sun went down and some stayed behind.
It was hard. I was kind of an outsider, you know, not Greek or whatever, but you got the feeling for anyone that knew that it's just horrible.
Kristen indirectly knew one of the victims and is still in shock over the tragedy.
I can't get over it. It's a life cut short, 6 lives cut short.
I've heard a lot of people say that the candlelight vigil tonight made it real. It's taken a lot of kids to another level of strength that they never knew that they had.
The Greek village, typically lively, now subdued. Black ribbons tied to the Tri-Delta house, a sign of grief and mourning here in Gamecock country.
The best way to describe it is that they're everything in Gamecock is, or should be.
We're told there will be school tomorrow. Of course, there will also be grief counselors for all students at USC. Now, that'll do it for us live in Columbia. Hatzel Vela, back to you, Raphael.
All right, thanks a lot, Hats. Now, the brothers and sisters of the fraternity and sorority that lost the fellow students, again, as you saw, are mourning that loss.
The president of the SAE House talked about the community's support for the Sigma Alpha Epsilon members, and chapter president Lauren Hodge of Delta had this to say. Out of respect for the family and friends of the victims who are grieving this incredible loss, we are focusing our efforts internally and are coming together to support one another through these grave circumstances.
The national chapter of the sorority, in an email to Live 5 News, indicates there will be updates on the website tomorrow regarding donations and support for victims and their families.
And later this week, the College of Charleston chapter of Tri-Delta plans to plant a tree at the chapter house on the college campus in memory of those who died. Cassidy Penley was one of the victims. She was a freshman at USC. Tonight, her family and friends and her high school sweetheart are devastated. Reed McCollum, a senior star quarterback at Somerville High, says he was planning to graduate high school early to be with her at school.
I knew that I was going to be up there in January because I was graduating early. And, I mean, we wanted to stay together. We had been planning it all along, just couldn't wait till we got to college.